In today's video, we will be looking at how to double phone and MP3 batteries. How to double batteries in your electronic gadgets. You can double a phone battery. You can double MP3 battery in order to increase the power rating of that battery. Batteries in any electronic device can be doubled, tripled, etc. depending on the user's desired outputs or result. There are basically types of battery connection. We have the series connections, we have the parallel connections, we have the series parallel connections. How can a battery be connected in series? Connecting battery in series increases the amount of voltage of that battery. For instance, if you are having this battery here, let's say for example, this battery is giving us this voltage. When we read it with our multimeter, you're going to see it's giving us 3.6 volts, and we wish to increase the voltage of this battery. We're going to take another battery. Let's go with this set battery. You check the voltage of the battery, you discover that this battery is giving us 3.7 volts. Now, in order for us to increase the voltage of this battery, there are certain things that are very important for us to observe. First and foremost, we must make sure that the battery that we are to work with should be battery that is having the same range of voltage, and also it should be a battery that is having the same capacity rating, that is the AMP rating of the battery. You can always check back on my video in order for you to understand better about battery rating. Now, we're going to start it here and we'll see what it really means. For us to increase the voltage of a battery, for instance, connecting that battery in series, if you have battery of 3.5 volts and you connect 3.5 volt to battery, you will discover that you're going to have 3.5 volt plus 3.5 volts. Now, what are the steps in connecting batteries in series or doubling batteries in order for you to have an increment in the voltage? The first step is that connect the negative terminal of one battery to the positive terminal of another battery. Let's do that now. This is the black, which is the negative terminal, and this is the red, which is the positive terminal. You connect them to each other. Let's tie these two batteries. You're going to see the setup here. Having done this, you have now connected this battery in series. For instance, you have a desired amount of voltage you are expecting to have as an input. You continue the series connecting these batteries. That means you are adding this voltage plus this voltage. Remember, before we started, we measured this voltage, which we have this. If I place it here, we see that this other battery is giving us 3.7 volts. If I place it here and place it here, we see that this other battery is giving us 3.5 volt thereabout. Now I want to check the resultant voltage we are going to have when we connect this battery in series. If you place your probes here, place it here, you're going to have the final voltage of the two batteries, which is 7.31 volts. Have you seen what we've just done? And for you to do this series connection, depending on what you want to have, then finally you can connect these two endings to your application. Now, let's look at how to connect batteries in parallel. Connecting battery in parallel is one of the basic things most engineers are faced with today, because for you to double battery in your MP3, for you to double battery in your phone, you will always make sure that that battery is connected in parallel. If you connect battery in your MP3 or your phone in series, you will end up damaging that particular gadget. So connecting batteries in parallel, what it does is that it increases the battery capacity, that is the AMP or the amperage of the battery. Technically, we can say the stamina is being increased. For instance, if we have these two batteries and we wish to connect this battery in parallel. What you do is that in the first place, connect the negative terminal of the first battery to the negative terminal of the other battery. When you do this, you are not going to truncate or tamper with the voltage of the battery. The voltage remains the same, but the strength or the stamina of the battery, which is the amp hour of the battery, will increase. You tie the positive to the end, then these two ending, you cannot connect them to your check the resultant voltage. If you place your multimeter at the two terminal, you will discover that there is no change in the voltage. You are having 3.6 volts, which is suitable to own any MP3. So whenever you are faced with connecting MP3, you make sure that your MP3 batteries are connected in parallel in this form, depending on the amount of battery you wish to connect.